Because everybody's strengths are different. And so we'll talk about we need to analyze those kinds of things. And so the first part of this case is about strategy formalization. And starting next week, this is the first thing we're going to do. We're going to analyze the external environment, where I'm going to share with you how we analyze the external environment and strategy. And then the week after that, we're going to go inside and X-ray the organization, CAT scan, CT scan, and analyze the internal environment and see what they do well, what are their weaknesses. This is the main analysis that we do in strategy before we do kind of strategy. Okay? Then the Alaskan Goldmine Part 2 is about strategy implementation. And I'm sure everybody knows, just because you formulated some kind of strategy doesn't mean it's going to work, because you have to implement the strategy. It's the same thing, you have a New Year's resolution. Resolution. You want to quit smoking, lose some weight, but then if you don't implement your plan or resolution, it's not going to work. It's all the same. Inside implementation, there are many, many issues that we need to talk about. But these are just some related to the Alaskan Goldmine Part 2. One of the things in terms of implementation that's really important, and these we've already mentioned, it's called you must communicate the strategy. So I'm the top management team of Samsung. I know what our strategy is for the cell phone market, smartphone, but our employees do not know what the damn strategy is. Then it's not going to get implemented. So you must communicate. So if you decide to send Pat or go with him, you have to communicate the strategy to him. Either write it down because he doesn't know. You have to educate the guy. And that's about communication. It's about implementation. Very important. Another big part of strategy implementation is called motivation and incentives. And I'm sure you guys know much more than I about this. We live this. It's about incentives. What motivates them? What's in it for me? And if you don't find what's in it for your employees and show them this is what's in it for you, it's going to be very difficult to succeed. If we go to Uzbekistan, so what? What's in it for me? You got to show them. This is what's in it for you if you go to Uzbekistan. Sorry, just an example. and so the question becomes, how do you motivate people? That's what we discussed. Because everybody's different, Some people are motivated by money, or most people, of course, we need money. But after some degree of money, some threshold, it doesn't motivate you that much. I don't know, though, because I've never been past that threshold. But that's what they tell me, the rich people. Some people are, motivated by moral suasion, Come on, man, we're friends, aren't we? Help me, man, Pat, we're old friends. I need your help, please. Help a buddy. Sometimes that helps. Anyways, there are many ways to motivate, and just have to find what the lever is. And this is so important and so tough. If I knew what moved you guys here, if I knew what moved half of you guys, the world would be mine. But I don't know. It's tough. But if you find that lever, oh yeah. And then another big part of strategy implementation is about control systems. And this goes at the heart of what you guys already mentioned. You said, I trust Pat. Trust is really important, as Sam said, but I don't trust him. How can I trust him? I don't know the guy. So you want to trust him, but since you can't trust him, you set up employment system, control systems. And this is called corporate governance mechanisms. And we'll talk about these later on in the semester. What kind of levers do you have that you can ensure that they achieve some kind of objective that you want, even if you don't trust them? Because, if Samsung enters into a joint venture with Sony, do you think Samsung can trust Sony? Do you think Sony can trust themselves? But they need a win-win. So they set up corporate governance mechanisms to make sure, and that one would be a contract, as you said. So we'll talk more about these things, and just think about these in the process. Okay, let me, one more. 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, let me go through the strategy of what is strategy, okay? Anya, what does Michael Porter say strategy is? Sorry, Aya. Oh, no, please go ahead. Oh, no. Sir, the Abercrombie & Fitch. Sorry, I don't know your name. What would Hambrick and Fredrickson say strategy is? It's okay. Okay. Anybody? What would Michael Porter say strategy is? Or Hambrick and Fredrickson say what strategy is? Anybody? He doesn't know. Who the hell are you talking about, man? These are the articles that I gave you that are uploaded on YSEC. And so every session, I've already uploaded all the articles for every session this semester, or at least my assistant did, and it's there. So you can read ahead of time, and so on and so forth. The two articles that I gave you, again, what is the goal for this class? The goal for this class is, what is strategy? In a broad sense, what are the various factors of strategy, you know? And then the rest of the semester, we're going to go to each one of those factors more specifically. And it's going to be like this. We're going to have some discussions based on a case. Going to give you some lectures. Some people are going to come and present every class, you know? And we have a goal for every class. Next class goal is the external environment. So next class, when it's done, you should know how to analyze the external environment as an MBA from the strategy point of view. Next class. Then the class after that, it's about internal environment. You should know how to analyze the strengths and weaknesses of an organization. What is a core competency and how do you know? What is your core competency right now as a GM-based student, you know, and things like that. And so to do that, one of the things is lectures. So I prepared some lectures every class, not that long, hopefully very short and very compact and helpful. The other thing is case discussions, very short cases. We will discuss like today, get your thoughts and things like that. And then sometimes presentations and things like that. And then the other part is the articles. So I gave you 1 or 2 articles per session, and these are the best articles in strategy, in my opinion, or they are the classic articles for each of these topics. So you must read them and know these. And so Michael Porter in 1996 wrote an article called What is Strategy in Harvard Business Review. And from his perspective, you get to know what strategy is. And then the second article is an article by Hambrick and Fredrickson, also very famous strategy scholars. And they wrote, Are you sure you have a strategy? And that's the second article that I gave you to complement your understanding of what strategy is, okay? So if not, you haven't started reading it, so start reading those articles and get to know them, okay? Let me just briefly go over what is strategy.